Good morning, sir.
Yeah, very good morning. So, okay, can you have your resume, please?
Yes, sir.
So, okay, your name is Anil Kumar.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, Anil Kumar, introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. It's a pleasure to meet you here. Uh, Thank you for giving an opportunity to introduce myself. As you mentioned, my name is Anil Kumar Reddy Erragonda. I came from the village Kalluru, which is near Anantapur district. Currently staying in SR Nagar, Hyderabad. I completed my graduation under SKU University. Along with my graduation, had taken my technical specializations like Java, SQL, and in Java I learned different topics of variables, declarations, types of data types, methods, signatures, and strings, and with along with the OOPS concepts, exceptions, and collections. And within SQL, I have knowledge on different types of commands of DDL, DML, and my short-term goal is to get a good role position in a reputed company like yours. And my long-term goal is to represent myself as the backbone of the organization.
Yeah.
And thank you, sir.
Yeah, okay, so you have knowledge on OOPS concepts.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, so what is meant by overriding?
Overriding. When whatever the methods present in parent class, they are acquired to the child class by the concept of inheritance. If the child is not satisfied or unsatisfied with the method implementations of the parent class, he can refine those methods as he wants. So this concept is nothing but the method overriding. Let's take a real time example, like if the parent, from our parents we can get the all properties of like gold, cash, and every parent decides to be a child to be a get married, and if the decision taken by the child is parent is like the child should be get an arranged marriage, but the child decides to be a love marriage. So the decision taken by the parent is to be get a marriage, but the type of marriage is chosen by the child. So this decision not obeying the decision of parent is nothing but the overriding of the.
Yeah, okay, what is
So,
meant by overloading?
Overloading is implement having the same methods and signatures but different parameters. So in the same class we can load having same methods and with the different parameters is called method overloading.
Overloading. So what is the major difference between overloading and overriding?
So in method overriding we acquire the whatever the parent characters, those are only the child can acquire from the overriding, and he can override as he wants. So that is the major of which is advantageous, that child can implement his own implementations. But in method overloading, method is same but the parameters are different.
Sure. Okay. So yeah. So what is meant by coupling?
Coupling is the dependency of the dependency between the components. If the dependency is more, then we say the dependency is more, we can define it as a high coupling. If the dependency is less, we can conclude them as a low coupling. For the programmer, it is best to choose a low coupling, because if we choose a tight coupling, the code complexity will be get more, and the enhancement will become less, because without affecting external implementations we can't change our internalities. So the best practice for the programmer is to choose the low coupling. And if we take an example, like if we do any skin operations or skin surgeries, as the skin is attached to the body, some part of the body also should be removed. Unless if we want to change a shirt, we don't require any body changes, because the dependency is more, because we can change any shirt at any times, but the skin and the body's dependency is more. So that we can conclude that.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So you have knowledge on polymorphism concept.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So explain about the polymorphism.
So polymorphizing, nothing in the name itself. Poly means many, and forms are morphism means forms, where a method having a same name but different forms, multiple forms. For example, if you take a person can be a husband to a wife, or a son to a father, or a father to a child. So here a person is one person, but the functions he is doing is in many forms. So in polymorphism, we can represent as the only one method with different parameters.
Yeah. So what is the difference between string buffer versus string builder?
Strings are nothing but a group of characters. For if there is no continuous change in a program or anything, we go for the strings, because strings are immutable. So why these strings are immutable? Because for the for example, if we take any logging page, we provide those logging page in the string form only. If the strings are mutable, any hacker can change the logics of that password. So for the security, it is better to consider the strings. But in some other cases, if we want a continuous changes, because of the strings are not immutable, so string buffers are invented, because without creating a new reference variable, we can add any other strings to any other name to the existing ones. And the string builder has the same scope of the string buffers, but if we are not considering the thread safety or synchronized or non-synchronized methods, we go for the string builders. And when we calculate the time considerations, string builders are more efficiency than the string buffers classes.
Sure. So okay. So what is meant by cohesion?
Cohesion is nothing but if a particular program has a defined definitions, then that is called cohesion. Cohesions are of two types, that is low cohesion and high cohesion. The best way to choose a programmer is to choose a high cohesion, because each and every path has a defined paths. And if we choose the low cohesion, then the complexity of the program will be more and enhancement will be reduced. So it is best to choose a high cohesion. And the best way for the programmer is to choose a low coupling and the high cohesion.
So yeah. So in coupling concept, so
It's
the
better
programmer
to
choose to
low coupling.
low coupling.
And in with compared to the cohesion, the program is the best way to choose an high cohesion.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So what is meant by array?
An array is the collection of group of values with the same of a homogeneous data types. If arrays are the arrays store the values with an indexes with each element with an index reference which starts from the zeros. If arrays we can declare as three types mainly, that is single dimensional array, two dimensional array, and multi-dimensional array or n-dimensional arrays. So in single dimensional array, when we have a linear types, or when we store values in a linear, we go for the single dimensional array. And then the syntax for storing that is data type with an square brackets indicating the array and the reference variable, and with a new data type giving the index values. So if we give an index of 5, the arrays will store the 5 values with the from index starting from 0. And in 2 dimensional array, it is declared as an array in arrays. So the arrays in arrays concept, that is we can store that data in the form of rows and columns. And 2-dimensional array is the basic of the multi-dimensional array, where we can store the table, rows and the columns. So the only exception in the arrays is once we declare the size of array, we can't change. So this can be reduced using the collections.
Yeah. So okay. So what is the definition of interface?
Interface is nothing but the service specifications or any 100% pure abstract methods, or any document agreement between the client and the service provider is nothing but an interface. If we take an example of a bank ATM GUI, The bank ATM GUI only provide the set of services what they display the set of services what they provide, like withdraw cash, how much balance is present, or mini statements. So the what happening internally is we can't see that. So that is nothing but interfaces. And using the concept of interfaces, we can in the OOPS we can implement multiple parents to the child class.
Okay. So in multiple inheritance
So
concept
we use interfaces.
yeah.
Interface.
Yeah. So okay. So thank you, Anil.
Thank you,
So,
sir.
yeah. Okay.